All right, we are suited up, ready to test if armor will boil you alive in what is 110 or 43 degrees Celsius weather. What? No, I haven't had a chance. Fine. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerd and nerdettes. Now, whenever trying to create a video for YouTube or thinking about something that's fun to do, you run into that South Park problem, which is basically Simpsons already did it.
Oh, Simpsons did it! Simpsons did it! Simpsons did it! Simpsons did it!
It's already been done multiple times and lots of people have put their spin on it and their take on it. This video I'm about to do, I feel, has not been tested and demonstrated rigorously, so I'm excited to share it with you, but also extremely trepidatious to do it. So when it comes to warfare, one thing that isn't often showed is the effect that weather has on it. It was well in The King and also in Kingdom of Heaven, which showed that famous Battle of Hattin. Crusaders were trapped by the Saracen army and they got dehydrated and they had the armor and the heat just famished them and they got exhausted and desperate. In that battle, which took place in 1187, plate armor wasn't common. It was mainly chainmail and a surcoat. And so when you go later to like the First and Second Italian Wars, that's when plate became more common, and it was fought in the Mediterranean, which is a hotter climate than England and France. So you can imagine the temperatures there would get up toward the 40s Celsius or like 103 or so. What does that bring us to today? Well, today in where I live, it's going to be about 110 degrees Fahrenheit or about 43 degrees Celsius for those of you who don't speak freedom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kit up in basically my fullest plate type armor. So I want to see how much it impacts performance. Additionally, there are accounts of people trying to remove armor and getting their hands burned. I'm going to see how hot the armor will get when it's that full degrees. So my goal is to be out here for about 2 hours making video and content and filming it with that plate in the hottest part of the day. However, as I'm sure you can imagine, a man just swinging a sword in a field by himself for 2 hours is pretty boring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do different cutting tests. So I have a katana, I have a spada, I have a hand and a half, and I have the Viking lang sax, which is a single-bladed Viking sword. I'm going to be testing those against different armors, against wood, against shield to shield, just to kind of make it fun. So in a way, this video is going to be like Inception, a video in a video in a video. No, just a video in a video.
Fourth wall break inside a fourth wall break. That's like 16 walls.
The last thing I want to test is how much weight I actually lose during the course of this. So I'm not going to drink water during the filming of this because I wanted to simulate, like, let's say a battle and you don't have time to refresh yourself. So starting weight now, 180, wow, it's all over the place, hold on. 183 pounds. Oh, that's our start weight right now. Let's get kitted up and let's be miserable together. Of course, just for the comedic value and the fun, I'm gonna bring 2 war bows out here, one at 135 and one at 165, and see how I can do that in my most full plate type setup. All right, let's try that again. So I am plated up here in my hometown, and here today it is already a balmy 101 degrees or 37 degrees Celsius.
It's so hot!
And I'm gonna be out here for about 2 hours or so. I'm gonna be testing all the different parameters of how it feels to be wearing heavy metal during this extreme heat like mini knights may have faced. So just to get things started, how much weight am I wearing? Well, this morning I weighed myself at 103. Today I am 245 pounds. So I have quite a bit more substantial weight with me, and it is metal and the sun is directly overhead. So that's gonna be reflective. So I'm gonna start with just some weapon testing. I'm gonna be wearing this the whole time just to kind of create that feel of exhaustion and how much it changes. Supplementally, I also started my watch as a way to track things. I kind of did that whole intro skit and everything with the armor. So I've had it on for about 32 minutes in 100+ degree weather. And my heart rate is 148, it was 168 just a second ago. I've already burned like 150 calories. So I want to keep track of that too, to see how taxing it is on the body just being and moving around. Just to kind of get a starting base readout of where the armor's at temperature wise. 117 here, 122 on the shoulders as well. I have a padded gambeson. I have the leggings here. This is all 16 gauge cold rolled steel. The shoulders are from the Queedom. And like I said, it's probably about 60 pounds extra right now, maybe 70, I think it was. 60 pounds, yeah, 60 pounds extra. So I'm gonna keep track of this temperature as I spend more time in the sun today to see how hot this armor actually gets. Now, as promised, this is gonna be an armor test and a weapons test. So last time I put the Lang Sachs or the Viking straight edge axe to the test, I'm gonna start this video with the standard katana. This is entry level, nothing crazy, nothing fancy, but I wanna try it against the riggers like I did last time and see how it does. To start though, I gotta make sure I'm fully armored up. I'm not gonna lie, having that helmet on made it so much harder just to breathe for that short time. And also, I couldn't really see down where I was stepping, so my footing with the ground's a little uneven here, so I had a little misstep once or twice. But obviously the sword did well. It is a katana, even if it's not amazing, 1050 hardened steel tempered. But I want to put it up now against the Viking shield that we've tested a lot before to see if that goes any deeper than the single-edged Viking sword did. All right, so one thing that I definitely can tell with the helmet is my edge alignment is a little off. I'm coming in a little funky because of the pauldrons and the way they move, so that's making it a little harder for me to get that straight cut. Second thing is, it did better, but you can definitely see where we got a warp in the blade right there. So again, this is like an entry-level type katana. It's 1050 hardened tempered steel, but even that is going to take some abuse over time. So I think we have no option now but to keep going and keep trying to see what we can do. But I'll probably wear some gloves for the next one. Whew, man. Oh boy, heart rate's like 165. Now, if you guys were here last time, you remember we went edge to edge. And we're gonna do that again here with the katana, except this time I'm gonna have gloves, helmet, and glasses on because high carbon tends to be a little more brittle. That was actually pretty nuts. You can see here, that took out entire pieces of this thing hitting that sword. I'm gonna show you what that looks like, but man, you can see when you get the higher carbon and a tempered, it is a lot more brittle than like a 1045 or slightly more malleable. It's got a better edge, but it's gonna just have trouble that edge to edge. Wow, that's nuts. Let's see how it looks. There you have it. Still very, very sharp, but very, very crooked. The blade still caught inside of the sword. That's a piece of the katana right there that got chopped into it. So it made a good cut there and there. That was the best one, but it broke off that piece. So how am I feeling real quick? Well, I've been in the armor for 51 minutes. It's kind of sitting, oh gosh. The armor's at about 126 degrees. 123 degrees right now, so it's getting hotter as I'm spending more time in direct sunlight. And heart rate 137. I have not drank any water yet. Like I said, I want to try to simulate more of what a battle was. You know, let's say it's stretched out for 2-3 hours. But I'm like, cutting water bottles is real hard because I really want to drink them right now. Oh man. But I feel good. I could keep going. I could keep fighting. I'm not boiling alive in here. I think that's the big takeaway. It's like, I'm not cooking alive. Right now we're at 105 degrees. That's like 41.5 Celsius.
So hot right now, absolutely.
And I still am doing pretty good because the sun's right overhead and I'm tired, but just thirsty more than anything. Okay, so the next thing I want to try is some warbow shooting. I'm going to start out here with a 135-pound bow, see how that feels. But just going from place to place and stepping around and everything, I can already feel I'm starting to get like start fainting remnants of like a heat fatigue. Definitely a little tired, faintly lightheaded, but not terrible. So I know my wife knows I'm out here, my kids, so if I get in trouble, I'll be fine. But man, it's real. Let's try it out. 135. All right, this is a twofer. You get to see how I draw in a cuirass with pauldrons and everything, and see me do it in the immense heat. And I'm feeling super weak though. Okay, that was really hard. I'm gonna try again. Okay, a little better, but still not great. I think it's a little interrupted here, but still possible. Okay, I won't try. I don't think I'm gonna get the 165. Okay, all right guys, full transparency. I have this little umbrella up my camera from overheating. It's been about an hour and 20 minutes and I just need to stay underneath it for a minute. I can feel the difference without armor and with, and it really is insanely taxing. Ah!
Yes!
Oh my God, that's so hot. It was horrible. I'm going to die. I'm so tired.
But we're gonna keep trying to keep going. See how long I can last without water. And you can see how desperate it makes you. So where are we at heat-wise? At 130 on the armor, so it's stuck there. It's gone between like 129 and 130 continuously, so it hasn't really gone much beyond that. Heart rate staying about 150, 148 even when I'm not being super active, just from the sheer exhaustion of keeping the body going.
Don't disturb my friend, he's dead tired.
As I'm going throughout this, I want to do a few more sword tests. The last time the Langsax did really good, I want to test it against the Kevlar helmet. Modern day, because last time it was soft 3 armor. I want to see how it does against that helmet. Let's go. Hey guys, if you missed last week's video, you missed a good one, because this single-handed Viking axe here did fantastically. But the one thing I didn't try it against was against a modern Kevlar helmet. So I have one here, and I'm just going to give that a whirl just to stretch this out and give me a little more time to suffer out here in this heat, because my gosh. So I sat in the car for a little bit, had the AC on, drank some water, 100% better. It's crazy. I was looking back over some of the footage and I was in such a headspace blur. When I did that single-edged Viking swing, I thought I hit it well, and watching it back, I think I came flat on that thing. Like literally, it was complete missed strike. Like I was so just fuzzy that I was all over the place and I didn't even realize it. So that's just crazy, like how much I felt like I was in kind of a fog now that I can look back on it and was watching the footage. I was like, dude, I was just kind of gliding. I'm not gonna lie guys, those are actually really, really good results compared to all the other tests I've done with this helmet. That cut in there very, very deep. And I mean, I felt it in the hand because it's that single grip. So you really have to feel it when it comes along the back of it. It shakes it a ton. But the thing that's amazing is that this is still a really firm pummel grip. Like those were bounced off right away. And you can see right here where it took off the wax after I polished it, that it didn't damage the blade at all. Probably just need to resharpen it would be the extent of what I need to do. So holding up very well. Was gonna try the katana, but that one went bust. The final tally, ladies and gentlemen, heart rate averaged 148 the entire time. Now, I was only active for a small portion of that video, as you can see when I'm going from place to place, but just when I had that helmet on for that little exertion, my heart rate would spike to like the 170s, 180s, just from having that helmet and moving. And gosh, it was even low pace, low key for me. This is insane, truly insane. Okay guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. In all the things that I've done in life, whether that be time trials, jiu-jitsu, wrestling competitions, this is probably one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
It just really gives you a respect for how fit and strong people had to be to have that level of endurance. Because I'm honestly dying, guys. And that was without the helmet like 90% of the time. When I put the helmet on, it was like a sauna. Even worse. Taking the armor off is fatiguing. I need some squires out here. Oh, here we go. Suck it up, Buttercup. You're fine. Woo. All right. Whew. Okay. Back to it, guys. Back to it. Now, for the last thing. What I want to do is see how much weight I actually lost doing that. So when I started this video, I was like 183, 184. I'm going to see what the final weigh-in is after all that strenuous activity and how much water weight I lost. Okay, as for the scale, it's broken. The scale, it was out in the heat for so long. Oh, shoot. Yep, screen is fried. I fried the screen. That's how hot it was. I fried the screen of my scale. So one important thing to note, guys, is that this is not something you want to try either. And when you're rehydrating after something like that, you got to start slow. You can't just chug a gallon of water. But what were the takeaways from this? Like, truthfully, it was the thirst and the exhaustion that were really the things that were just driving me crazy. Like, I felt the bodily fatigue. I was dragging, but I couldn't imagine just, I can't, at 11:78, 48, my mind's kind of blurry. But just being surrounded and not being able to get to water during the crusades, like, you'd be so desperate. And a lot of them had said like they were taken without a fight, they surrendered, they were killed, they didn't care. And you can really see just like how that's gonna mess with your mind. That level of fatigue and tiredness and thirst, there's just a point where you just don't care. You just want to lay down and be like, I give up. So that was rough, man. I was kind of dreading this video, but I'm happy I did it. I'm still kind of filming just because the energy, like, to get up and turn off the camera right now seems really far away. But I'll get it back.